Welcome back and thanks for joining us. I'm Courtney,
I'm Kenneth.
and this is From Launch to Legacy, where we talk about everything it takes to start and run a small business. This is the last part in our mental health series. Probably not the last time we'll talk
No.
about mental health, but the last part for now. So today we're going to talk about how to build sustainable success, which encompasses burnout prevention, support systems, and then mental health resources. As always, there are free resources on our website that have checklists and guides and things to fill
Frameworks.
out and all kinds of stuff for you guys for free to help you if you're listening to the podcast or not. Our website's www.havensconsulting.com. So go get those free resources.
That's HAVINS, by the way.
Yes, it is. Before we begin today, a quick but important note. While we work with business owners every day and understand entrepreneurial stress firsthand, we are business consultants, not licensed mental health professionals. What we're sharing today comes from experience working with other business owners and general wellness strategies. It is educational, not medical or psychological advice. If you're really struggling, if stress or anxiety is overwhelming, or if you're having thoughts of self-harm, please don't wait. Call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, available 24/7, or reach out to a qualified mental health professional. There is a link to the Mental Health and Wellbeing Guide for Entrepreneurs in the show notes. It has practical ways to protect your mental health, resources for mental health, and information on where and how to get help, as well as a list of organizations that help business owners for free. Your mental health is your most valuable business asset. Help is available and recovery is possible. All right, let's get into it. So, we have covered a lot in this series.
A lot.
We started with understanding the business cycle, imposter syndrome, how to deal with difficult clients. Last one was navigating financial stress. And then today we're going to bring it all together and talk about how to build sustainable success.
Yep. Systems that take all this to account and kind of keep your head above water.
Yes. Yep. So I think it starts with the main thing we're going to talk about today, right? Which is burnout. So we're going to talk about how to prevent, what to do if you are experiencing, and how to get some support systems. So burnout does not happen overnight. It is a slow erosion caused by chronic stress, unclear boundaries, and a lack of recovery.
I mean, we see this with clients, right? It's not really a failure issue. It's a failure to implement proper systems or adhere to those systems problem. It's
you don't get burnout if you're not doing
right.
the work.
Yeah, that's
a different problem.
That's a whole but yeah, if you're just failing over and over again, that's a different problem, especially if it's the same thing over and over again. Burnout, you're typically doing well, or at least you may have been doing well, and now, you talked about the business cycle, the predictable success. You may be in whitewater now, and there's too much.
Yeah.
You overextended yourself. You didn't set up the infrastructure ahead of time to handle that growth, and now this business that you were so excited about and that you've got all this business for is now your nightmare.
Yep. Because burnout isn't just being tired.
Right.
It's being physically, emotionally, and mentally exhausted so that something that you once loved to do,
right,
it is impossible or feels impossible.
Yep. I had this problem, and I don't know, every job I've ever worked, and here as well, was it's the worst phrase you can say as a leader in anything, in businesses, families, whatever. It's just quicker if I do it myself.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe this time, but now add up all the other times that you're going to have to do it again versus if you took the time to train someone, it takes maybe 1, 2 occurrences for this thing for it to save time to train someone.
Yep. And it's hard, right? Because it's hard to think about long term versus what you need to get done right now.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this on a completely separate personal topic the other day, but people don't think they're doing the wrong thing,
Oh,
right?
yeah, right. You're not just walking around thinking, "Oh, man, I'm really messing everything up,"
Right.
and
I just keep doing it and not
yep,
trying to change anything.
yep,
We think the way we're doing it is the best way that's the
yep.
best way we figured out. And some of us control freaks, we you delegate something off and it's not being done the way
Yeah,
you would do it. It's still getting done. It's getting done correctly and it's getting done on time, but it's not the way you would do it. And I have to remind myself, that's fine.
yep,
That's fine. But I've had bosses that it was like, you have to do it this way. Why? Because that's the way I want it done. And it's
yeah.
like, but that takes 2 extra hours and I can get the same result 2 hours quicker with the same amount of accuracy.
Mhm.
Nope. That's not good leadership. When I do delegate, I've always used the phrase, I'll give you A. I'll tell you what I want Z to look like. But what B through Y looks like, that's all you. You
Mhm.
decide what that looks like. The way it works best for you. But this is the quality, the product, and the time frame. And here's where this is how you're gonna get it. So you've got to bridge the gap, however that's best for you. So
All right. Well, the WHO, the World Health Organization, defines burnout as a syndrome resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed, characterized by 3 dimensions. So there's 3 things that make it burnout, right?
every mental health thing, there's like a triad. There's always
hmm
3 things.
So first is feelings of energy depletion or exhaustion. The second is increased mental distance from one's job or
Hmm.
cynicism. And the third is reduced professional efficacy. So that's your ability to function effectively.
Hmm.
So here are some early warning signs. So think about how you're feeling at work and see if these might apply to you. Chronic fatigue despite adequate rest. That doesn't mean like it's the holidays and you're sleeping 3 hours a night. This means you're sleeping, but you still feel tired all the time.
Right. Yeah. There's a difference between being exhausted from strenuous or extended work of any kind or fun, but that's not, this is, I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary.
hmm
I'm sleeping as much as I should, and I wake up feeling exhausted. So it's important to know there's times you're going to feel exhausted. It's perfectly healthy. There's times you're going to feel exhausted. It's a warning sign.
hmm
So if there's not a direct reason you can see, probably something you need to adjust, like you're sleeping 3 hours a night, change that first.
Yep. So cynicism, which is an inclination to believe that people are motivated by their own self interest or maybe that they're out to get you. Another early warning sign is reduced empathy and
Hmm.
patience. You're getting testy. Everyone's getting on your
And that
nerves.
can come from that last one. You
hmm
can be reacting to perceived slights
Yep.
or perceived attacks that aren't real. You're framing it in a way that's not real. I've done this, I
hmm
for sure. So it's definitely something. It's a trap I've got to watch out for.
Some physical symptoms are headaches, stomach issues, insomnia, and you'll know if these are regular for you or
Right.
not. Like if you have IBS because all you eat is macaroni and cheese
Cheese
and
and coffee.
coffee, then this probably isn't an early warning sign. This is a diet
Yeah,
sign,
this is
right?
an early warning sign that you need to go see a GI doctor.
Yes, yeah. So procrastination and reduced productivity, if that is not normal for you, if you are using it as maybe escapism.
Yep. But if you do have chronic procrastination, also go talk to your healthcare provider.
Yeah.
You might have ADHD or some other challenge that can be helped,
Yep.
and they can help you not procrastinate. I
Yep.
was the worst procrastinator in the world, but I had undiagnosed ADHD.
Yep.
And now
And
that I've got, oh, sorry, go ahead. But now that I've got help and some medication, I don't do that.
mhm. Yep. And it doesn't have to be medication.
No,
There's tons of different routines and stuff that you can use. And
absolutely.
if you want to know some of those, comment below and I'll give you all my tips and tricks.
Right. That we've got from licensed
Yeah.
mental health professionals.
All right. So isolation, this is when you are self-isolating. This is my biggest thing, right?
Hmm.
When I am in a stressful situation, I will self-isolate from my family and friends because I feel like I can solve problems better on my own.
Uh-huh.
Not the healthiest situation there, but it is what I do. So if you see yourself pulling away because you are stressed and you need, look at some of these other things and see if it may be burnout.
Or if you're pulling away because you feel like someone's going to ask me about the business and I
Yeah.
want to talk about it. And it's like, that's definitely a sign because I've been there
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, I don't want to answer questions because things aren't going well right now. And I don't want to think about the 15 projects I'm behind
Yep.
on.
Yep. Loss of enthusiasm for work you once enjoyed. I think that's the number one thing that people think of when
That's
they think about burnout.
Yeah, that's probably the first thing that you're going to start to feel if I
Mm-hmm.
had to guess. Now, this isn't this part sucks or this
Yeah.
project sucks. Again, if there's acute, I think is the medical term, where it just happens every
Mm-hmm.
once in a while, not chronic, and and you know why these things are happening that are not a mental health or
Yep.
stress, then that's just a situation.
Yes.
And that's probably an SOP or procedural thing, which go back and watch those videos.
Yep.
So again, they're not going to be who you are. This
Mm-hmm.
this isn't ordinary, and I can't pinpoint what this is, or I know it's burnout.
Mm-hmm. The last couple are difficulty concentrating or making decisions,
You what?
which
Sorry, just kidding.
this guy we've talked about before is decision fatigue. Now, that can just be normal stress like the rest of these. Just, look at these together globally.
Mm-hmm.
If you're feeling trapped or hopeless, or you notice a much greater dependence on your vices, that doesn't necessarily have to be drugs and alcohol. It can be whatever you use to.
Television.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be anything.
Yep.
Facebook. I mean, people
Yep.
use all sorts of things to. Again, this will go back to escapism, right?
Yes. Yep. Okay. I know that we talked a lot through there, so you may not have gotten all those, but they are on the website. So you can go and look, and there's a little checklist there, and you can see which one of those may or may not apply to you. So we do want to pause for just a second and say that if the things that we just talked about, if you're like, I feel all of those, then that's beyond normal business owner stress. You're moving into burnout or maybe some other problems.
Yeah, and this is where professional help.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important. This is not something you're gonna blow money on. This is an investment into yourself, which will pay dividends in your business and in your life. A therapist or counselor, they can give you support and strategies that are way beyond what we could do.
Yeah.
I'm not a mental health professional, but don't talk to your therapist about process consulting. Call me. But we're just trying to convey a lot of information we've gotten
Yep.
that's worked for us from licensed healthcare professionals, and we just want to help you out.
Yep. There's a list of resources in our show notes. If you're struggling with anything that is severe, or you're having thoughts of harming yourself, just dial or text 988. They're available 24/7. They can help you. Your mental health is the most valuable business asset.
Absolutely.
Right?
And there's help out there. You're not alone. It can really feel like you're the only one that feels like this a lot of times. You're not. I don't want to discount
Yeah.
what you're feeling, but I mean, you're not alone. You're
Yes.
not isolated, even though it feels that way. There's life support out there. Reach out, grab it.
Yep. Okay, so let's talk about some prevention strategies. If you're like, wow, these people are crazy, I don't have any of those. That is so awesome.
Good for you.
So happy for you. So let's talk about ways to prevent it so that doesn't happen to you. You can establish clear work hours. Now, that is hard in the beginning, but just, even if it's 2 or 3 hours a night, I will not answer my phone during these hours. Or if you are like, okay, well, I don't answer my phone after 5, except I will do 30 minutes from 7 to 7:30 or whatever the case may be. You want to create separate spaces from work and personal, especially if you work from home. You need to work in a place where that is not your family space.
Or your bedroom.
Yes. Learn to say no to requests that if they don't align with your priorities. You do not have to say yes to every opportunity, even if it is a business opportunity.
Right. You don't have to say yes to anything.
That's
if it's
right.
not good for you, there's every business contract and agreement and obligation should be mutually beneficial. It's literally one of the requirements for a contract to be valid. There has to be consideration on both sides. I think it's a legal term. So don't take on work for any other reason than it is a good deal for you.
Take regular breaks throughout the day. This one is very hard for me.
Same.
TMI right here, but I will hold my pee way beyond what I need to, just because I'm like, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish.
I can't lose my train of thought. I'm right in the middle of this,
Yes.
but that's a 5-hour train of thought.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then that can cause its own set of problems. So take breaks, even if you have to just stand up and touch your toes,
Yep.
Or go to the bathroom or get some more water, whatever it is.
If you have to set an alarm every hour, 2 hours, whatever on your phone, do it, but don't snooze it. I'll do it next time. Nope.
Well, like Apple Watches have that stand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Use it. I don't. I'm terrible at this.
I know. I used to, when I wore one, it'd be like, these are your rings. And I'm like, I don't want to see that.
No, I know. They make me feel terrible.
Apple's over here making me feel guilty about myself. But it didn't make me stand up more.
It sure did.
It just made me feel worse about me.
But if that works for you, good for you. All right.
Absolutely.
Turn off your notifications outside of your business hours. This has helped me unbelievably. I went through and I turned off the notifications on almost every app on my phone.
Same.
I feel so much better.
Yep.
Because I was getting all these notifications of just nonsense, but I thought they might be something important, so I kept checking.
Right, because they could be. And every email, I get, I think, text, phone calls, the Weather Channel. I think that's it. I think that's all that notifies me now. My Outlook on my phone doesn't notify me.
No, I don't get notifications from anything. Text and calls.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm at work, my email's open. I'm seeing it. And if I'm not at work, I'm not looking at my email.
Yep. But that took a long time. So if you are,
years,
don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Last thing is protect your weekends and family time. So this is really hard, especially in the beginning, right? Because you're trying to build clientele or get customers, and you're working almost exclusively off referrals in the beginning, unless you have a huge marketing budget.
Right.
It's just clients referring new people. That's how you get it. So every mention on social media, you feel that you have to respond to. Every comment, every message, you feel like you have to do it immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Immediately. And that is not because that will be the expectation going forward.
Yes, that's my next little part on here. Is the truth is you teach people how to treat you, especially in business, because if they expect a 24-hour turnaround time, then that's what they expect. But if they expect immediate responses constantly, no matter the time frame, they expect that.
And if you don't, they'll get agitated and upset.
Yep. Set those boundaries up beginning before you even begin that formal relationship. We
had a client show up unexpected at our house one time. You remember?
Yes.
Like texting, it was like, hey, I'm outside. It's no, you cannot. This is not okay. And we had to establish some new boundaries with that former client.
Yes. All right. This one took me a lot of time to understand that that you have to manage your energy or your capacity, not just your time. when the big kids were younger, we had a lot of activities
Right.
and a lot of goings,
Yeah.
and people were in and out all the time. So it felt like I didn't have time.
Mm-hmm.
With the little, he's a homebody.
Yep.
We don't have a lot of activities. So I have time, it feels like,
Yeah.
but I'm here. So I have a lot less capacity.
Right.
So this is something I feel like if there's a me out there 3 years ago, I just blew your mind and changed your life. So, okay, so here's some ways that you can help manage your capacity is create a morning routine that centers you. And this sounds woo-woo, every self-help book ever. Do one thing,
Mm-hmm.
see how that goes, add another. Don't just decide that tomorrow you're going to wake up and be a new person.
That never works.
Some things in your morning routine that can center you. That's gratitude, prayer, meditation, exercise, whatever makes you calm down.
Yeah. Because you can have, everybody knows this. I mean, it's called waking up on the wrong side of the bed, right? If something goes awry very early in the morning at home before you get to work or take the kids to school or whatever, you know that can destroy your day. It
Yep.
can throw everything. So there's no reason to think that having a good morning that is balanced, you accomplish, you feel better about yourself, that wouldn't make a positive impact in your day. So
Yep.
it's not woo-woo, it's science.
Mm-hmm. Schedule demanding tasks during your peak energy. So I'll talk about how I kind of implemented these later, but you may not be energetic first thing in the morning. It has to be your most demanding things need to be your peak energy period.
I'm 9 to noon.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ADD medicine kicks in and hasn't worn off yet.
I'm 10 to 3-ish is mine. Okay, alternate high stress activities with low stress ones. Take real vacations without working.
Yeah.
I have a note, like even if you stay at an Airbnb in your same town, which you usually can find for almost nothing.
Especially if you're in the middle of the week, you're a business owner,
Yes.
your weekends are whatever your weekends want to be.
If you're full time.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, even if you can just get out of your own house, because if you're at home, you're going to do something.
Right. And you're going to see all of the obligations that you have, or the chores that need to be done, or the projects around the house. You're not vacationing and getting away from that if you're staring at that all night.
Yep. Prioritize activities that energize you rather than drain you. And those can be energy taking. But if you feel pumped afterwards, that's what we're talking about.
Working out. I mean, that takes a lot of energy, but when I do it, which is not often, I always am like, I want to go conquer the world now.
Yep. Know your personal energy patterns. Like, are you a morning person, night person? When do you slump during the day? Mine is at 3 o'clock. That's when I start going down. And then magically at like 9 p.m., I can do anything.
Yeah, I was working on a new project last night. I went for like 3 hours last, but it's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I got to get this done. I was like, I'm going to just get a jump on this.
Yep. Build in recovery time after intense work periods and have an end of workday shutdown ritual, whatever that is for you. Kenneth and I have one. We use it every day. We walk in the door, put down our stuff, and then we do our things like make our water cups and get our recliner ready. And we have change our clothes.
Yep. Make sure the house is straightened up, chores are done, dogs are handled.
Yep. If I don't put my pajamas on, I am not done.
Correct.
Like I cannot relax if I'm still in my work clothes.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Which, like, if we have people coming over, we have something to do. I just don't do that because if I take my jeans off, it's over.
Yeah. I'm here for the rest of the day.
All right. So I'm going to tell a little bit about me and how those things kind of work in our life. So I'm late to everything. Our family
used to be. You're a lot better now.
I am. Our family has a a mom hack
Mm.
where they used to tell me something was 30 minutes or an hour later. Like Lainey's graduation was at 10 o'clock.
Earlier.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Did I say later?
Yeah.
Sorry. So, like, if her graduation was at 10, everybody would tell me we have to be in Dallas at 9.
Yep.
So that I could get to things. The thing is, the kids, the bigs, well, and Coop too now, never late to school. Never.
Unless I
ever.
take them. Then they're late sometimes.
Yeah. If it's me, no, not ever. The kids were never late to school. I was never late to work. I was late to literally everything else in the world until we became business owners and work was whenever I said work was.
Right.
So then I would feel late because I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to take Coop to school and then I'll be at work by 8:15, and I never was. So then I was feeling bad. So by the time I got in here at 9 o'clock or whatever, I'm totally stressed out.
And you feel guilty and
And I didn't do my morning routine, my neck yoga or read my devotional or whatever.
Right.
And so all of this starts compounding. So I've had a bad morning. Coop and I are barely speaking, because I'm like, get in the car. Blah, 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 blah.
Where's your ID?
Yeah.
Where's your Chromebook?
Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? You said you had it. Let's go back home. Anyway, so all of this stuff. So I don't know, this summer or something, I decided, whatever, 10 o'clock. I'm going to be at work by 10.
Mm-hmm.
And now I get to work much earlier than that.
Yeah.
But I have no stress in the morning.
You're also way more productive.
Yes. Because 10 o'clock's really my good to go time anyway. I'm not really productive. I'm like doing things, but my focus, like if I'm going to do research or work on, spreadsheets or something, or even record, I can't do that before 10. I cannot record before 10.
Right.
I have to have that's when I'm good.
Right.
Anyway, so that was all that stuff, right? Your morning routine, your peak energy periods, your recovery time after, because when we go home, I do our transition to home, our shutdown, and then I crochet.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I get into some work later on, but when I first sit down and I do my crocheting, which is like how my brain resets.
Well, it's like you said earlier, there's a transition, and you need to have that ritual or that event, whatever it is, because it literally tells your brain that I'm moving to this arena or this area of my life.
And if I do my crocheting and then I do something for work or I do a project or whatever after that, it's because I want to and I feel good. But if I sat down and immediately started to work on that, I don't feel like that. I feel like I'm still trying to work.
Yep. And then I feel tired, and because I'm like, God, it's already I've been working, 10 hours a day already.
Okay, so if you want those things listed out for you, again, they're on the website. Next up is how to build some resilience habits. So develop healthy coping strategies. You can look those up on the internet. You can comment. We can tell you what some are. I think there are some on the very first mental health thing that we put up that has all the resources and stuff on there. Maintain perspective through gratitude practices or devotional, or however you can look at the big picture of your life in the world. Focus on what you can control, not what you can't.
It's a hard one for me.
It is. Sometimes it's just like, okay, well, I'm stressed out, so I'm going to do kind of like a pro-con list, but it's a can control, can't control. And I think that can really help you to let some of this stuff go because you're worried about all this stuff. And in the moment, when you're listing these worries, you're not thinking, I can't control those things.
You're thinking this is going to happen to me and how do I need to prepare for it? But if it's completely out of your control,
then you have to let it go. And that's hard.
There's a quote from Sam Wilder, a Ryan Reynolds movie back from the early 2000s. He said, worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere.
Isn't that movie about Bert
Oh, it is.
Kreischer?
That movie is about Bert.
And we did a Bert Kreischer quote. Oh,
Oh,
the macaroni and cheese, or is that Tom Segura? Macaroni and cheese and coffee.
that was with Tom Segura. That was when
Okay.
they did the escape room.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. References. Okay. Next up, this one's hard. Plan your upcoming week or month with realistic
Yeah.
expectations. The easiest way to do that is to do a time study so that you understand what even a realistic expectation is.
I've been done about that here in a minute too.
Celebrate progress and achievements regularly. Maintain interests and hobbies outside of work. Hello, crochet.
Yep.
I have been a person who's wanted to have hobbies my whole life, and I did this year is when I started having hobbies. I learned some crochet, some cross stitch, some other things. Just find something that you punch needle is really easy. You just punch a needle. You don't have to have any kind of skill at all,
Yeah.
but it's really fun. So try some of those things, planting, whatever. Coding if you're into making your brain go fried all the time.
Yeah, I don't advise that.
Adjust your workload based on your current stress level, not your ideal stress level. Kenneth.
Yeah, I've got some notes about that later too.
Reflect on mental health check-ins like, am I fulfilled or am I just busy? Stay connected to your why, which is your connection to your purpose beyond the profit. So why are you doing this besides money?
Right. Why did you get into this in the first place? You were already making money.
Mm-hmm.
You probably had a job or whatever, but you decided to go off and do this venture for a reason, and it wasn't money.
Yeah.
What was it? That's your grounding point.
Yeah.
And if you're getting off that, that's when you'll start to feel not good about the business because you're not doing what you set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your time, we talk about time's not a renewable asset all the time, right? But you're, like you said earlier, your capacity, your energy, you have a finite amount of that too. And you have to budget that. You have to
Yes.
treat that like revenue or resources or employees or time.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount and there is an optimal way to use it today. And I can waste a bunch of it.
Yeah.
I can waste money. I can waste time. I can waste my energy working or worrying about things that I shouldn't, working on projects that don't matter, putting, trying to perfect it when I already got it 95%. And
Yeah.
I spend another 4 hours trying to get 3 little lines or
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah. Or color coding or making a spreadsheet just a little bit better.
I was doing this earlier on a price revision for a project, and I just kept like adding detail. I was like, what am I doing? I'm going to confuse the client by the time I'm done with this. What is happening?
Yeah.
I'm making this less clear, not more clear.
Yep.
And I have a bad habit about that. But like you said earlier on the time studies, this is one of those, if you feel like your projects aren't, you just, whatever it is, it's not making enough money or I'm always rushed. You need to be tracking these things and adjusting for in the future. Okay, this is my real time constraint and this is my real monetary obligation here or the real cost of doing this and realign that in the future. You got to keep tuning the knobs. And you're never done with that because the landscape of being a business owner is dynamic. It's changing all the time.
Especially now. The last 5 years have been crazy.
Yeah. Between, I'd say COVID and AI were the two things that have changed the last 5 years in business. No one knows what to do right now. So it's crazy. And that's when we decided to start a business for businesses.
Okay. If those things seem like they may be you, or if you're like, I don't even know what you guys said, go on the website and check those out. But let's talk about a recovery plan. You're already in burnout. Okay. You're already experiencing these things. What do you do? Okay. So it's going to be like everything else we talk about. First step is pause.
Yep.
Stop what you're doing and take a real look at what is happening.
You have to
So,
understand where you're at before you know where you're going.
absolutely. So, immediate relief. How do you immediately feel a little bit better so that you can manage? So, this is like day 1 to 7. This is your first week. Reduce your workload to the absolute essentials. What do I have to do or my business will fail, crash, whatever?
Yeah, we'll lose a job, we'll lose
Yeah.
money, something.
Yep. What do I have to do? Okay. Get extra sleep. So that doesn't mean if you have been sleeping 4 hours to sleep 5, it means sleep 8,
8.
9 hours. Get real sleep. It will change your life if you are not sleeping well and you sleep well for 1 week, your brain will reset. You'll be able to handle these issues a little better. Inform someone you trust about your situation, that you are in burnout, that you are overwhelmed, and that you are, working on yourself. But talk to someone. Do not stay in this alone. If you need to send me a DM, do that, and I'll talk to you. But tell somebody
Yeah.
what you're going through.
And hiking, there's a hashtag never solo.
Mm-hmm.
There was literally a website where if you were going to go on a solo hike, other hikers would just volunteer and you would say, "Hey, I'm supposed to be here at this time." And if you don't check in with this stranger,
Yeah.
you gave them emergency contacts and they will call the park, they will call your family and
Yes.
everything. Don't go it alone.
Yeah.
It's dangerous out there. And if you get stuck, there's
Yes.
no one knows that you're hurting.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. So if you don't feel like you can talk to somebody, you send me a message. Cancel non-essential commitments. So if you don't have to go, don't go. Even in your personal life, this first week, you need to scale back to the bare minimum.
I've got a note here for non-replenishing tasks. If you've got a non-essential, but it recharges your battery,
Yeah.
do that. Keep
Yep.
that on the schedule. Now, don't fill your schedule so you're behind because now you're counterproductive.
Yep. Allow yourself to feel these emotions without judgment. And then seek professional help if your symptoms are severe. If you have persistent hopelessness, if you are hopeless and you think your business cannot take it and you can't take it, or if you are having a panic attacks or anything, you need to reach out to a professional today, right now. Pause this,
Yeah.
do some research, call somebody up.
It's good, and it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're not
Absolutely.
alone. You're not beyond help or repair. You just need a little outside help. Third party.
Everyone
Everybody.
does. Everyone does. We're business consultants. If you're listening to this, that's our whole job is outside help. So
Absolutely.
we definitely think that is.
And we're doing this because we couldn't find quality
right.
outside help.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So your week 2 to 8. This is short-term recovery. Gradually increase activity levels. That doesn't mean on day 8 go back to normal overload, right? Just gradually increase. Consider temporary help. We did an episode on, and there's stuff on the website about what kind of temporary help to have, whether that's outsourcing,
Consultants,
Mm-hmm.
employees.
Yep. Engage in restorative activities.
Yep.
What the two last things are the main things that you really have to do and may not feel good and may take some work, but address underlying cause of burnout. Okay, it's not just I've been working for 3 years, so now I'm burnt out. No, there's something going on. What's the root cause? Is it a system failure
Mm-hmm.
because you won't delegate? Is it a boundaries failure because you say yes to every terrible client?
Yes.
Find out what that underlying cause is and then implement some stress management techniques. Start small, like maybe I will walk around the block,
Mm-hmm.
or I will do a 5-minute stretch.
Yep. There's a Jordan Peterson quote that's you're a horrible employee and an even worse boss when it comes to self-discipline.
Yeah.
So, and this is a trap you can fall into. Like Courtney just said, don't commit to, I'm going to go do an hour run or I'm going to go walk 5 miles. I call this like you're almost trying to get back to even in where you feel like your effort is. So you feel like you haven't got enough done. So you're going to overcommit here. And it's like, well, I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm going to do 5 miles and I'm going to knock out these 3 projects.
Yeah, but then you do not want to get out of bed. And now you've overslept.
And now you've set yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
And now you feel worse. And when we get into when we do the systems theory series, a lot of this will come in because if you're procrastinating, you're doing escapism, and that's making you feel worse. That's a cycle that
Yeah.
is constantly feeding back into itself, and you can't set yourself up for failure when you're already trying to keep your head above water.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go walk around the block.
Yes.
Not I'm gonna walk 5 miles.
Yes. Yep. Or like we said, a light stretch. So one thing, I was having a lot of neck pain, and I tried everything I could think of. Chiropractor, massage therapy. I have every pillow in the world that you can even think of, and none of it was really working. So I started doing neck yoga. It's 9 minutes or 12 if you do the needle, which you don't have to do. You sit on your butt, Indian style. So anyway, yoga with Adrian, neck yoga, 9 minutes, changed my whole life. And now I just do it because it helps to calm me. And it like stimulates the vagus nerve and drains stuff. It's so good. Anyway, do something that is small and you can commit to it and it's sustainable, not some huge change.
Yes.
All right. Long-term prevention. So 3+ months. Restructure your work processes and expectations. If you need help with that, give us a call. You can schedule a consult on the website, www.havensconsulting.com. Build sustainable business practices. Develop stronger support systems, which we talked about last time.
Last episode of the 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure.
Okay, well, we have talked about it. If not, there is, of course, something on the website for you guys. Set boundaries with emotionally draining people. If you leave an interaction and you feel worse than when you started that interaction, that person needs to be away from you.
Unless you legitimately did something wrong that that's different. But if you didn't, people that make you feel worse about you for when it's not warranted.
Yeah. Create systems for ongoing stress management. There's some we've already talked about. There's some more coming. There's some on the website. Continue self-compassion. We said this a bunch in the other ones. Talk to yourself like you would a friend
that you really, truly care about and love.
Yeah. Who do you love in your life? Whoever just came into your mind right now, would you talk to them like that?
Right.
If they said that to you, would that hurt your heart?
Yeah.
That they're talking to themselves like that? Then you don't need to talk to yourself like that. And then if necessary, reassess your business model. I mean, call a consultant. I mean, we have free consults. There's other people out there that have free consults. It's not going to hurt anything for you to do free consult. Call, see what they say.
Because if something is systematically not working, continuing in that system is not going to change.
Yeah.
It's just going to, the only thing that's going to change is your level of resilience and energy, and it's just going to degrade and just get worn down.
We're watching Grey's Anatomy at home right now, binging it. And that reminds me of them. They're like, we have to change the system.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, because if we just keep doing this, and it's like, change the system from within. It's like, you can't if you're not.
Right.
So you know.
Right.
I mean, that sounds so like you should know that. But it's like, think about it. If you're continuing to do the same thing every day, you're not changing the system.
No. And I mean, look, it seems, yeah, it's like so obvious, but it's one of those things that's so obvious
Yeah.
that if it's not articulated, we kind of don't like, we could say it, we could think it, but if we don't think about it,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that actually means what it means.
Hmm.
And I need to, take this into account.
All right. So there, a quick win there is to schedule 1 hour for this week that actively and genuinely energizes you, and then protect that as fiercely as you would a client appointment. Don't just say, well, I'm not going to do it because I don't feel like it right now, or I should do this other project, or what. It's 1 hour. Do that thing that makes you feel better.
Yes. This is hard to start, but it's the hard stuff that makes the other hard stuff easy.
Mm-hmm.
I I had a little shout out on Facebook this past week about a
Yes.
quote, so I'm going to throw that quote back in here. And it's, you have to be an active participant in your own life, in your own business. Shout out to Jake Cantrell if he ever hears this. It was a boss of mine I had at the bank. He taught me that, and I forgot where he heard it, but it stuck with me my entire career. Be an active participant in your own life, and that's one of those things that, like you just said, yeah, obviously participate in but if it's not articulated, you can get into a rut.
Yeah.
And routines and ruts are not the same thing, but they can lead to one another. Um, but if you're not deliberately guiding any part of your life, I think we said this last time, like with money, if money is like a toddler, if you're not
Yeah.
guiding it, it's just going to run off and do something it shouldn't.
Yep.
Like if you have to be deliberate
Yeah.
and you have to be involved and you can't stick your head in the sand. That's very easy to do. We don't
Yeah.
want to look, sometimes a light at the end of the tunnel is a train coming and we don't want to
Yes.
see it.
Yep.
But that doesn't change the fact that the train's coming.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can just step off the track and it's okay.
Yep. So that's the perfect transition, because burnout can be exacerbated from feeling like you have no support, right? The feeling like you're doing this alone. All right. So, some of the health risks from business owners being isolated: you're making decisions alone, you are carrying the stress without sharing it. You miss the camaraderie of traditional work environments. You used to have water cooler talk and friends and gossip and things to break up the day that
Right.
you don't now. And you feel completely responsible without a support system around you.
Yeah. And, we mentioned this earlier about the isolation that happens. All of this stuff, again, I know people are like, what is this system stuff he's always talking about? But these are self-feeding loops. Isolation breeds isolation. Lack of delegation breeds lack of delegation. These problems, if you are not deliberately going, all right, this just keeps not working right every single time, I need to turn this ship just 1 degree.
Yeah.
And progress, not perfection, right? But if you just I'll just keep doing this on this course. I'm exhausted. I feel bad about myself. We're missing deadlines. If you don't change it,
Yep.
that's just going to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be deliberate. And sometimes we get into these spots and we don't realize we're there yet. So, and that's why isolation's such a bad one.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't have someone else around that can go, excuse me, hey, this is not you. What's going on? You're different, because they can see the change in you that you probably happened so gradually.
Yep.
And you've got all this extra information that you're putting the context of how you're feeling. And so you've justified that you should feel this way. If no one else is like, hey, that's not good, that's not helping anything, you will just get deeper and deeper in there. Isolation's a bad one.
Yep. And that is where most business owners are, especially in the beginning. And if you're doing it just yourself, the same things can happen even if you are a team, even if you are a husband and wife that are doing it. And then you compound that with not having the spouse to talk to about the business that's not in the business. Now you're both in it. Now it's like, I don't want to bring that home.
Right.
And there's tons of other issues that that come along with having a business with your spouse. And we'll probably do a whole episode on that for you guys that are
Family
in.
businesses.
Yep. Okay. So let's talk about getting the support team. So professional support team, that can be an accountant or a bookkeeper or a CPA, which are 3 different things that do the same things.
They have very overlapping
Yeah.
duties.
Yep. But that can be financial planning, tax strategy, cash flow guidance, business structure, quarterly check-ins. But it's another person that sees you.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, maybe they don't see you that often, but they can keep an eye on you if there's a big thing that's happening, or you're like, hey, this is going downhill, that there's someone else that has their eyes on.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Next up is an attorney. They can help with legal protection, contract review. They also do business structure too sometimes, protect you from litigation and peace of mind on legal matters. But it's another person
Right.
in your life that has to do with your business that you can talk to. A business consultant or coach gives you strategic guidance and accountability. They're an objective perspective on the problems you're facing. They help with decision making, and they usually have experience working with a bunch of different businesses. So they can kind of be like, this is everybody, or this is happening in your industry,
Right.
or hey, there's an issue here.
Because a lot of this is going to be not industry or company specific. They're just going to be part of being a human and dealing with things you're dealing with.
Yep. And so here's a note on hiring any of those professionals, the consultant, coach, even the attorney, even the lawyer, is to check their references like you would an employee.
Because every profession's got good ones and bad ones.
Yep. And look for people who can articulate a clear process. This is how we're going to fix this problem, not 90 days and you'll have $1 million.
Right. Or this is at least how we're going to approach it at the beginning. And then after we get some more information,
Yep.
we'll do this. There should be a framework. Now, if someone gives you, we've talked about this, and it's like, we're going to do exactly this, and everybody does it, and it's just a cookie cutter, that's probably not going to work.
Yep. Make sure that they have worked with your industry or industries that align with your industry. You don't want to be in manufacturing and this person's only worked with hairdressers.
Right. Yeah.
You want someone who's worked with industries that are similar to yours.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, well, I'm a aerospace manufacturer.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
There's retail, there's consultants, there's manufacturers, there's
restaurants.
Yep.
We don't usually work with restaurants. No. So, just make sure, if we wouldn't be like, well, we'll help you out if it was a restaurant. That's just an example, but.
Right. But we don't, that's not our area.
Yeah. And then make sure that they've worked with clients in your current business stage.
Mm-hmm.
So if they've never worked with a startup, you probably want to look for someone who has worked with a startup before. Yep. Or if they only worked with startups and you have been in business for 10 years and you are falling off the deep end over in death rattle, you need someone who has helped businesses get back on track.
Preferably someone that has done it themselves, even if that was with help.
Yeah.
Because they learned and they've got some advice to help you get through. They know the general things that they can first give you that'll help you, and then they can figure out some more of the specifics down the road.
Yep. And absolutely. I heard this on some podcast I was listening to was ask them if it was about therapy. I was listening to The Body Keeps the Score, which is a big book in trauma recovery stuff. But
my stomach's got all the debt. When picking a therapist, you need to ask them.
Yeah, ask them if they have experience in these types of therapy, and you shouldn't ask and they shouldn't tell you specifics about their own therapy, but you can ask if they see someone, because most do. And they'll
Right.
tell you, I have gone through these types of
Or
therapy.
I've worked with several people that have gone through similar things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you are trusting a consultant or a coach to get your business back on track, you need to vet them at least as well as you would a therapist because they're a therapist for your company.
Right. And you're spending money, you're allowed to verify the product you're going to get before you spend it.
Yeah. And that's why I was going to say that. You said, someone who's gone through death rattle or big rut or whatever before. Absolutely. You want a therapist who goes to a therapist
Oh, yeah.
because they are helping everyone deal with their problems, but they're still a person
Right.
and they need help with their problems.
For sure.
So if you are dealing with a consultant and it's like, I have been through this before and I have worked through these steps before, I trust them more than if they're like, well, I never did that.
Right. Oh, well, I've never had to deal with that because I've got a solution. My therapist goes to a therapist. We talked about
Oh,
that last week.
mine does
Absolutely.
too. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't think I'd want to go to someone who
No.
doesn't.
You don't believe in your own system?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, hairdressers go to hairdressers.
Right.
People go to people.
Lawyers don't represent themselves in court.
Yeah. Right. Accountants have accountants,
Right.
So, anyway, mentor is another place, or peer groups or places to get some professional perspective. They've got that, been there, done that. They can do some introductions, some networking stuff. They give you inspiration. They reduce your isolation, especially if you are in a peer group with other business owners in the same realm, the
Mm-hmm.
same stage that you're in. I would love to get some groups together, maybe of businesses in different stages. I've looked into them. I haven't found any that I would trust. If you are listening to this and you have some, I would love your recommendations. I just haven't found anything I like yet. So,
And that's okay
mhm.
because you don't have to settle when it comes to things that support your mental health. You don't. You
That's
can
right.
be picky, you can be choosy. And there was a book that Cooper had when he was younger, and it was talking about, you need to fill someone's cup, not take out of their cup. If it, don't deal with people that are emotional or mental or emotional. Did I say emotional twice?
Yes.
Okay.
He means seriously.
Emotional. If they're drains on you, again, unjustly, or they're just you're like, I don't, the person's Eeyore, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
It's like everything's horrible, everything's going wrong, it brings me down.
Yeah.
That's not, you don't have to continue in that. You just don't. Find people that it's like, man, I talk to them, I feel awesome.
Yes.
I can go conquer the world, because then you will put that back into other people.
That's
And that
right.
will spread, and that will be a net positive for society.
Yep. Okay, so a couple places where you can find peer groups. Like I said, I don't have any specifically that I really love, but I will tell you where you can find some. Your local chamber of commerce or local professional networking groups, industry specific, Reddit, online forums, Facebook, trade associations, mastermind. There's lots of places to find that. You can just basically put in where to find, now describe yourself,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Google it.
And you're going to find, I think we've said this before, if you join a networking group, you start talking to other business owners, I think we get this romanticized view that someone owns their own company, they have everything all figured out. And what you will come to realize is no one has it all figured out.
No, they're all people.
They're all people just like you. And I mean, I guarantee you right now, Tim Cook, he's the CEO of Apple. He's probably in his office or conference room right now trying to solve a problem he does not know how to solve right now.
Yeah.
And he's got a $3 trillion company. Doesn't matter what stage you're in, you're going to have issues. You're going to have to problem solve. And no one's walking around with all the answers.
Yeah. Also, these high billionaires, they're not doing this alone.
No, they're doing it with thousands or millions of people.
That's right.
They're not taking the brunt of the entire everything with Apple on Tim
Yeah.
Cook's back.
Yep.
It,
And they have many secretaries. I know this
mm-hmm.
for a fact. Personal and work, receptionist, secretary, whatever the
Right.
vernacular
A
is
personal
for
assistant.
today. Yeah, personal
Yeah.
assistant. Other people are running their lives for them. They just are told when and where to show up and solve these problems.
Yep.
But if you're listening to this, you probably are not there. So you're having to do all of this stuff that they
You
have
still have to figure out your own laundry.
delegated.
You got to feed the kids. You got to take
Yes.
your own kids to school. You got to help with
Yes.
homework.
And they have chefs and nutritionists and
And
fitness
chauffeurs
people
and nannies and boarding
yes.
schools. And there's
Yep.
people they don't pick what they wear.
Yeah.
Someone else is handling that. They know what event you're going to. They pick your clothes. You just get dressed and go somewhere.
Yeah, a car shows up
And
and
you
it
go, where are we
happens.
going? We're going to a gala. That's why you're wearing a tux. It's like, awesome.
Yep. All right. So outside of professional support, you need personal and family support. It cannot be all work all the time, or you for sure will go into burnout.
Guaranteed.
So you need your family, chosen or blood, no difference to me at all. Obviously, Kenneth thinks that he is the biological grandparent to our grandbaby. That I think is the first time we've mentioned it on.
Oh, are we allowed to do that?
Well, I mean, everybody else knows, so.
I mean,
yes,
it's on Facebook.
We are having a little baby.
Due date's February 4th.
Yes, so 2426.
So very excited.
All right. So your family provides emotional support. They ground you. They give you perspective outside of your business, because if your business is gone tomorrow, you need a family.
Yeah, you need a tribe.
Yes. AI has put a lot of businesses out of business.
Mm-hmm.
It's created new ones, but if for some reason your company was not a thing tomorrow,
right,
you need something else. So make
but also,
sure.
you're not gonna die.
Yeah.
You're not your company.
That's right.
You're not your past. You're not your failures. You're who you are right now.
Yep.
And there's something else coming.
Yes. There always is.
There always is.
There always is. Okay, close friends, they can offer stress relief and feedback and make you feel normal. And then your spouse or your partner, hopefully, you have a shared vision
Mm-hmm.
and a financial partnership, and they give you that daily emotional support.
Yeah. Yep.
That you need.
I mean, I call you my mental health Sherpa. Courtney was a lot further along in her, she had started, so she was further along down her mental health journey when we met. I was a crazy person. I was the rage monster, and now I've gotten a lot of help. We got a therapy, there's a lot of good things going on, and the way I think about myself is better. My stress levels are better. I have healthy coping mechanisms, because if you've got stress, you're going to have coping mechanisms, and they're going to be good or they're going to be bad. And if you're not being an active participant, you're probably getting bad ones.
Yep.
And they will make you feel worse. And then that's a self-feeding loop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's going to, if you start drinking and that makes you feel worse because you said something stupid or did something stupid, and then that makes you have more emotional pain, so you drink more, or whatever your thing is, gambling, Facebook, whatever, you're gonna double, triple, quadruple down on that. And the further you get, there becomes a point where you're gonna have to hit rock bottom to come back up.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go that deep first. You can.
That's right. Rock bottom does not have to be a gutter for you.
No, you can just have a little bit of a bad time and get some help, and then just be like, that kind of sucked, but it wasn't soul crushing and devastating.
Yeah. Your business doesn't exist in isolation, right? It affects everyone around you, and burnout spreads quietly throughout these relationships and can choke your relationships. And it's burnout. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's a slow process. It's not just catastrophe.
You don't wake up tomorrow and you're like, I'm burnt out.
No, no. You wake up and you go, okay, should have dealt with this a few months ago.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, some ways to help your family communicate is to hold family check ins and talk about the stress or the needs that your family has about your business. Involve your family in celebrating wins, but
Mm-hmm.
also talk to them and don't judge them. Don't bottle it all up either. Communicate with your family and set some predictable family time. Okay, well, we spend time together on Sundays or
Mm-hmm.
we eat dinner together every night. Now, I'm not saying you have to do these things. You pick whatever works for your family.
Right.
And if it is a busy season, just be open and honest. Okay, for the next couple of months, it's going to be rough.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're not getting enough time with me, please let me know and we'll work on it.
Yeah. You don't have to be blunt and devastating and aggressive, but don't sugarcoat it and it's not really, this, or it'll take a few days and it's going to be a rough couple months.
Yeah.
You need to, because then people know what to expect. But if you do that and you say, well, it's going to be a rough week and it's really going to be a rough couple months, well, when that week's over, now they don't trust
Yeah.
when it does start to feel normal
Yeah.
again. So we're programmed biologically to avoid discomfort because that's a sensation that comes when something's generally not good for us.
Yeah.
And so we want to avoid it. All of those biological imperatives were made when we were running from tigers. So when you throw these into the 21st century globally connected workforce, these natural instincts, we have to talk about this in therapy a lot, they're in overdrive.
Yeah.
You can be in fight or flight constantly because no one has had this level of input. Our generation, the millennials, we were the first ones
Yeah.
to really grow up with just constant input. You can always have input.
Yes. And that's why I started crocheting
Mhm.
because I was always on a screen. From
That's
the
my
time that
problem.
I wake up to the time that I go to sleep, there's a screen.
Yeah.
And I couldn't distinguish between work screen and fun screen, or is this a job that has to be done, or is this supposed to be a fun task? So I started to look at some different things I could do that were not a screen, and now when I pick up my tablet, I'm fine, but it took a while.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't really at home, you just crochet. You'll be like, I'm done with that after like 3 hours.
Yeah, but it
But then you don't feel bad about being on the screen.
and I'm much more productive no matter what it is that I'm doing because I
Yes.
start doom scrolling on everything.
Facebook,
Pinterest.
Google.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can get into a doom scroll on everything. It doesn't have to be social media. Okay. So a quick win for that is to schedule a 30-minute conversation with your family about how the business is affecting them and listen without defending. Now, if you've never done this and you are in burnout, this could be hard. So maybe 5 minutes. Do a 5-minute conversation.
Right.
Or can you tell me one thing? If you are in a very stressed out time or you don't feel like you can take a lot, maybe one, they can get something big off of their chest.
Yes.
You can hear it without defending. And then that establishes a base
Yes.
to continue to have the
And
conversation.
this needs to be an area of trust where you don't want to say something that's affecting you and hear about why it's wrong, why but you don't want to do that especially to anyone in your family. I was going to say especially your children, but you don't want to do that to your spouse just as much. That's because then people don't trust that they can speak. People keep things inside, and then you're not communicating, and then you drift apart. And so there's time for advice, and then there's time for, this is how I feel. This is just, and this family, this is not saying anyone's doing anything wrong, but this is what I'm feeling. This is my experience right now. I know it sounds super
Yeah.
like hippie love circle, but it's these things are okay.
Yeah.
A lot of us, especially you guys out there, we were taught to be kind of stoic and, don't cry, keep your emotions inside, go cry in the shower like an adult. Um, all the jokes we say, but that's not good. That's not healthy. It's gonna cause cardiovascular issues, mental health, early dementia. There's a whole slew of really, really devastating physical effects that this can have, not to mention the social ones of, isolationism, family problems. It's not having an open place where someone can talk about what's going on will only create problems.
Yep. And that leads us into our next part, which is mental health resources for entrepreneurs. So, what Kenneth just said, taking care of your mental health is not selfish.
No.
It's essential for your business and for yourself and your family.
And your family. It's a benefit. I know that you guys have benefited from my improved mental health.
Right.
And vice versa. All three of us are in therapy.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've all greatly benefited from all three of the therapies.
So a professional therapist or counselor, they have a neutral professional third party to provide mental health support, healthy coping strategies, because you are using coping strategies.
If you have stress, you're coping with it somehow.
Yeah. They give you a safe space to process stress and anxiety, and they help you develop tools. Now, that's the main thing, is developing tools.
Yes.
And if you are not or have not gone to therapy, you do not have to sit on a couch and cry and figure out what your parents did to mess you up. You can say, I'm having this trouble with my business, and they will help you there.
Also,
if you find the right one.
Yeah. And so a few things on therapy. One, there's not a finish line. You don't go and you're like, all right, so I do 12 sessions and I'm fixed, or this problem. No, that's that. And just like you said, because I go in there sometimes, I'm like, I don't have anything really to talk about. I'm just going to kind of talk about my week. And then 10 minutes in, I'm talking about it will naturally. Now, that's not going to be your first few sessions. You're talking to a stranger that you don't know, and it's going to take some time to build some trust. But once you do, you'll just go in and talk about whatever is on your mind, and your brain will naturally go where it needs to go.
Yep. If you have questions, message us. Send us an email. We'll talk to you. We'll answer any questions that we can, or we'll point you in the right direction.
Right. We'll try and get you some resources, some help, what we can. Go ahead. What a coping mechanism that one of the first ones I got, to the point where now if I do it, Courtney asks me what's wrong, and that's to take a big deep inhale through my nostrils and then just exhale through my mouth. And I will do that if I have an anxious thought that I know I don't need to have, that it's not healthy. Can I do something about it? And am I going to do something about it?
That's a big one. People forget.
Yeah, that you taught me that because you're my mental health Sherpa. But if you can't or you won't, then
this is pointless.
If you can and you're worrying about it and you're not doing anything about it and you're just deliberately putting yourself in a bad situation. That was one of the biggest things that you taught me, was because I was a dweller.
I don't know this, but I think I made that up. Like, I don't remember ever hearing that. I know it. I knew it from my childhood because I did and still do. I watch a lot of television, now it's Netflix, but change the channel. When I had a thought that I didn't like, this is so crazy, but side note, I used to think people could read my mind when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what if they,
what
if they can hear what I'm thinking or whatever?
I had this with my
meemaw.
So
I would change the channel because I didn't want them to hear that I was thinking they were ugly or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's something that has helped me throughout my life. If I'm having a stressful thought that I can't do anything about or am not going to do anything about,
Yep.
I just change the channel. So,
And when you first start out, you're going to change the channel. And then 5 seconds later, your brain's going to turn the channel back.
yep,
Take another deep breath through your nostrils, exhale out of your mouth.
and
If you
change the
hold it for
channel.
a second, and then change the channel again.
Hmm.
Because it was a conscious thing for me to do that. Now, Courtney asks me what's wrong, and I go, "What? Oh, I had a thought try and sneak in,
Yeah,
but I just stop thinking about it because I don't even notice I'm doing it anymore. It becomes an automatic response, and it's not something that you have to keep in the forefront of your
yeah,
mind. And these are healthy coping mechanisms because the other, my alternative to the deep breaths was to yell at people in traffic.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
that I'm going to cope with it somehow. Pick a healthy outlet.
So, the most important thing about getting professional mental health help is that they can help you distinguish between normal stress and a clinical issue. Whether you need more intense therapy or you need medication or you need time inpatient or whatever that may be.
You're just okay, and this
Yeah.
is normal.
And then they can tell you this is normal and that will help you most of the time to feel better.
It does, because when someone says, "Oh, yeah, a lot of people have this. This
Yeah.
is normal, and you can do that," just to know that you're not alone in
Hmm.
it, that I'm not the only one I'm not a
Yeah.
broken human,
Yeah.
because we can be really hard on ourselves. I told my therapist this last week. I was like, when it comes to, assessing where I'm at, I was like, I can't be trusted. I was like, no, I can't. I have to have someone else, and I have to tell them and be like, "Hey, is this
Yeah.
normal?" Because I can't be, because I'll just be like, "No, you're a horrible person, and you're a loser, and you're doing it all wrong."
Okay. When to seek professional mental health support. If you are having persistent feelings of sadness, anxiety, or hopelessness, if you have changes in sleep or appetite lasting more than 2 weeks, if you have difficulty functioning in daily life or business, if you are having panic attacks, severe irritability, substance dependence, thoughts of self harm or suicide, use of unhealthy coping mechanisms, or relationship problems affecting any or multiple areas of your life. I also will say if you own a business or are thinking about starting a business,
It's probably just a
you
good
might
idea.
as well just go ahead and start
Just
that.
start out with therapy, and I think if you invest in that from the beginning, I think it can really be a game changer for people.
Absolutely, because you already have established this relationship before these things start to happen. And you can say, I'm worried about the imposter syndrome, or I'm worried about
Mm-hmm.
fear of failure, or I'm worried about burnout. And they can help you track this.
Mm-hmm. Or they'll make you just sit in the discomfort.
Yes, which we both had to learn to do and is terrible.
I hate it. It's
Okay.
so uncomfortable.
Finding a therapist. There's tons now. There's in person, there's telehealth, there's text therapy. You can go to your insurance's website and look whoever they take. Um, some places do a sliding scale based on your income, and then there's crisis hotlines if you
Mm-hmm.
are having some of those severe problems.
Like you said earlier, you want to look for a therapist that kind of is in your arena, that they work with
Mm-hmm.
business owners or high stress individuals, or uh, something that's going to be more ac- applicable.
Applicable. Yeah.
That's the
Yep.
I'm on my third therapist.
Mm-hmm.
The first two, they weren't good fits for me. And not that they were bad at their job or anything like that. We weren't good fits.
Yeah.
It could be personality, focus, therapy style.
You could not be ready to deal with things, and it could be anything.
Right. So it's okay to try one and be like, I don't think this is.
Yeah. I don't feel comfortable talking to this person. Try a new one.
If you don't feel better after therapy, you need to change therapists,
Yeah.
because that's that's not good. That something's amiss there.
I want to make something really clear. You don't have to be in crisis before reaching out for help. You don't have to be experiencing the things we've talked about in the past 5 episodes, but I think that's pretty clear. I feel like the last 30 minutes has just been us promoting
Basically tell everyone to go
therapy.
therapy.
Yes.
Uh,
There is a resource on the website called Mental Health and Wellbeing Guide for Entrepreneurs. It has ways for you to protect your mental health, and it has resources, and it talks about what kind of questions to ask and everything. So if you have gotten anything out of the past 5 episodes and you're like, I need to get some professional help, please, they're free. Just go check them out. They have links to stuff
yeah, and
they'll be good for you.
there's lots of resources out there, especially, the 2025. There's just a lot of resources for mental health. It's out there, and you can't see the benefit if you're deep in it. You can't see, you may not even be able to see the need for it. You may think, this is just normal. This is my life. This is who I am as a person, or whatever it is. But you'll be surprised what 6 months of therapy can do.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what 3 years of therapy can look like, but your ego has to be removed, because you have to say, I think I need help.
Yeah.
And that's hard, but
Yeah. It gets easier.
it does. Everything gets easier once
Mhm.
you do it. It's cliche, but cliches are cliches because they're true.
Yeah.
The first step's the hardest. And, it can be, I remember the first time I went to talk to a therapist, I was so embarrassed because I'm like, I'm a grown man here to ask for help because my feelings are feelings, and now I'm like, ooh, it's therapy day. Like,
Yeah.
I love therapy. I go to, you know, I go to a doctor's appointment every Thursday, and then I go to church. It's my barber. That's a person that I talk to, and I leave feeling better every time.
Mhm.
Then I go to therapy, and I look forward to self-care Thursdays because I actually work through some of the stress I built up.
Yeah.
Or, over the past week, month, year, you're chipping away at various parts at any given time. But I'm so much better at regulating my emotions now. I'm so much better understanding my emotions. When we feel an emotion, we almost always have a secondary emotion,
Mhm.
right? I'm angry. No, you're scared,
Yeah.
or you're hurt, or, that's really what's going on. There's so many benefits. I just can't emphasize enough how beneficial it can be. And I know a lot of people feel like it's woo woo, and it's not, but just try it.
I think if they're 5 episodes
Into
in,
mental health, they'll probably go try
they're
therapy.
yeah, they're probably already in therapy. Okay, this is our last thing we're going to talk about in this whole series is celebrating progress and sustaining motivation. This is so important. You have to acknowledge achievements because if you are always focused on the next challenge, there's no appreciation for how far you've come.
I mean, yeah, because what did you do it for?
That's right.
If you didn't it, get something out of it, I'm not saying every interaction in your life has to be transactional, but this is your business.
Mhm.
If you don't stop to say, hey, we got this done, you will never feel like you're good enough because you haven't hit an accomplishment.
Mhm.
It's survival mode. You're
Yeah.
just doing the next thing is just keeping me alive. It's not accomplishing anything. It's just keeping me from a catastrophic failure. And that mentality and that mindset will feed burnout more than anything. And again, we say this 1,000 times. This is not outside me just speculating here. This is someone that has had all of these thoughts and experiences,
Yeah.
has gone through this, and is telling you what it looks like on the other side.
Yep. So some things that you can do is a monthly review of accomplishments and progress,
Love that.
an annual how far we've come
Ooh.
reflection, sharing successes with your family and your support network.
That's not bragging, and it's okay.
That's right. rewarding team members and yourself for achievements, and creating visual reminders of progress and growth. So episode 18 has evidence files if you want to go and listen to that. If you did not, that is
Yes.
a good thing.
Episode 2 of this series. I was like,
Yes, episode 18.
I was like, you remember that specific topic from episode 2?
No, I have the cheat sheet of what we talked about in these 5 series over here.
Excellent. One thing about that rewarding team members, doing something nice for someone else, really.
It helps you.
Yes. So, and don't need to, altruism is real and you should do things because it benefits someone else, but doing a good thing and then feeling good about it does not negate it.
Yeah. Okay, so some ideas, recognition ideas, are your first profitable month.
Woo!
Ow! Reaching some revenue goals, successfully completing difficult projects.
It's a big one.
Positive customer feedback and testimonials.
Good for you.
Anniversaries, personal development achievements, and overcoming a specific fear or challenge. So
those are all huge wins. And a lot of times we just gloss over them and act like it was just that was the baseline. That's what I should have done as a human.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should also, as a baseline, as a human, celebrate these wins.
Yes, absolutely. They're so important because, like we've said, I mean, you can just get bogged down in the, okay, do this, now next do this, now do this, now do this. And that is terrible for you.
Your reward is a new task.
Yes.
That
makes you absolutely not want to continue the cycle.
Right. That's the treadmill.
Yeah. So some core principles here are that in business, struggle is mandatory.
Yep.
But suffering is not.
Yep.
So.
And in life.
Absolutely. Like, you will have to struggle. You're building something new. And every business is different because every business owner is different.
Yep.
So the struggle's there, but you don't have to suffer through it. There are 21 episodes on how to start a business here for you with free hundreds of pages of free resources. Next core principle is to seek support. Asking for help is a strength, not a weakness.
Absolutely.
Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness that you would treat a good friend. Focus on progress. Celebrate how far you've come, not just how far you have to go.
Mm-hmm.
And prioritize your well-being because your mental health is your most important business asset.
You can't help people and serve your clients if you can't function or operate the way you're supposed to.
Yep.
It's, in movies, we can't save them if we're dead.
Yes.
That's the exact thing. If you can't hold yourself up, you can't support anyone else.
That's right.
And you can't help anyone else.
Yep. Okay. Well, a quick win here is to write down 5 business accomplishments from the past year that you're proud of.
Put them in the comments. I want to read those.
Yes. Share them with us. We would love that. We would love that. Our reflection question for this episode is, what do I need to celebrate more often to remind myself that progress is happening?
Ooh.
Ow.
That one, I need to do that one myself.
Right. If you are ready for personalized industry-specific help, you can schedule a free consultation call right through our website.
At havensconsulting.com. That is Havens with an I.
Yes. Our core takeaway from this series, let's just do the key takeaways. Okay. So our 6 key takeaways. Business challenges don't mean you're failing. They mean you're in business.
I love that.
That's from our first one. Second one is imposter syndrome and fear of failure affect not some, but almost all
70%
of entrepreneurs.
See, I read my notes.
I know you do. Number 3, professional responses to difficult situations help to build your reputation.
Mm-hmm.
4, financial discipline during growth phases set you up for long-term success.
Yes.
And then from today, building support systems isn't optional, it's essential. And recovery time is a non-negotiable for longevity. And our takeaway that we've said for every episode, and is still so true, is that your mental health directly impacts your business success.
Probably more than any other factor.
Yeah.
More than marketing, more than the market, more than anything. Because if you were out there just have confident, energized, you're gonna be able to be successful in whatever environment you're in.
Yep. Building resilience and maintaining mental health as an entrepreneur requires intentional action and ongoing attention. Start small, be consistent, and remember that seeking support is part of building a strong business.
Be an active participant in your own life and business.
Yes, you do not have to navigate this journey alone. Whether you need help with financial systems, business strategy, or simply someone that understands the unique challenges of a business ownership, professional support makes a difference. You can schedule a consultation right through our website, www.havensconsulting.com. If you got value today, you can help us by subscribing so you never miss an episode, sharing this with another business owner or anyone, because everyone should check in with their mental health.
Absolutely.
Leave a quick review, but only if you liked it. It helps us to reach more small business owners just like you. We'd also love to connect with you on social media. You can find us at From Launch to Legacy or at Havens Business Services. Drop us a question. Tell us what you're working with. Just say hi. List out your wins.
Yeah.
DM us if you have questions about anything that you don't want to put out there. Our final thought for the series is that the strongest entrepreneurs aren't those who never face challenges. They're the ones who develop resilience, build strong support systems, and learn to thrive despite the inevitable ups and downs. You've got this, and you do not have to do this alone. Until then, keep leaning in, keep learning, and keep building the business and life you've always dreamed of. We're honored to be part of your journey from launch to legacy. Bye.